Could I please do a iced matcha tea latte with soy milk?
Anything else for you?
I think that's good.
All right, 681.
Thank you. Hello everyone. Hi everyone. It's Chase, aka That K Jedi, and welcome to another video. Today we are in my car because I was talking to my friend Brian the other day, and I was like, I want to keep making things and making things in different ways to find out what the best way is for me. And I'm kind of like getting a little bit experimental things. And I think that like sitting in a dark room with like lighting and with all this stuff just doesn't really feel authentic to me. So we're in my car and we ordered a little matcha tea latte from Starbucks, which is, I know it's a little corporate, but I also shop local coffee wise in case you're wondering. But sometimes you just need that Starbies, you know what I mean? I'm my little Starbies girlies out there. So the Galactic Starcruiser, she's shutting down. And first and foremost, I feel most for like the people who are working that and we're working that and like they're out of job and they work really hard to make that thing really special. And everyone says that like the best part of the Starcruiser is the staff and like the cast members. So heart goes out to them. But I don't know, it's like an interesting thing because when I heard that, I was like, damn, I was like, that is so embarrassing for Disney. It's like 17 months of operation and this thing is just kaput. And I hope they redo it and like make it make it an extension of the park and make it an add-on for people, or maybe just make Galaxy Edge that much cooler and just expand it and make it really big. But I don't know, I'm not a theme park developer, but I just have to say, it's like, yeah, of course it's closing. It's incredibly expensive and they're going to cycle through the people who are willing to pay that much money. Like they're going to cycle through that pretty quick. And, you know, for me, I think it's like a really cool concept of an idea. And in my humble opinion, I don't know if it was like super executed that well, in terms of like value. I mean, if they're going to charge that much money, I think they need to pack in a lot more value. But that's for me and like how I spend my coin. I have a lot of friends that have gone and they loved it, and I love that for them. And I don't mean that in a patronizing way as well. I mean, like, even though I'm like, my tone has a certain tone to it, but no, I just like, I don't know. I just think it makes sense in terms of course that was going to happen. But I do really, really hope that they make it better, or maybe even revamp it and make it more affordable for people. But I also like, I don't know, I want them to have more fun with it. You know what I mean? That's like one thing with the Galactic Starcruiser. I'm like, I just wish everyone had more fun with it. Like in terms of Star Wars, there's so much like amazing, like rich, meaty, juicy Star Wars out there. And it was just like a little bit streamlined and clean, which I know is the whole thing, but I'm just saying, I hope they have more fun with it. I hope they do something cool with it. And I hope that all the cast members are like chilling and also like don't get fired. I hope that Disney puts them in another place in their parks, because Disney is flop era right now, you guys. And like, that's also kind of why I'm like, I love me some Star Wars. I always will. But I'm not like, I can't just like keep making content for Star Wars. Like, it's just like this like giant franchise IP, like Lucasfilm we love, but like Disney, I'm like, oh. So anyways, I mean, I'm kind of anti-Disney. I think everyone is pretty much anti-Disney a little bit right now, right? But they're pulling Willow off of Disney Plus. And if there's one thing I am, it's a Willow stan. If Willow has one stan, it's me. And if Willow has 0 stans, then I died. I cannot believe that like Disney would put so much money and so much like energy into bringing out a team to make this show come together, only to cancel it and then take it off the streaming platform. Because I'm not big tech. I don't really know how streaming works, but it seems pretty twisted, because I don't understand how a show is supposed to grow and like get attention, and like if it doesn't exist. Like it is honestly so sad to me that all these amazing artists, worked on this show and put their whole thing into it, and then it's just like never existed. They took it offline, and it's pretty backwards, and it's not right. And it's like, only because what, Disney doesn't want to pay royalties, doesn't want to keep paying people who like were involved in the project. I'm about to start literally like, give me all the cast's Venmos and the writers' Venmos and the director's Venmos, and I'll just like Venmo them $10 a day. Not really, that's a lot of money, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just stupid. It's like these artists who put their whole thing into the thing should be able to get paid for it. And for the fact that they're doing this all during like the Writers Guild strike is embarrassing. Disney should be embarrassed. And like they're bringing like, you know, they brought in Bob Iger, which is cool. We love him for a CEO, I guess. I mean, a CEO is a CEO is a CEO. But CEO, no, Bob Chapek is also a big reason why I think that like the starcruiser kind of like fell short. I think he's pretty notorious for like putting trying to take the most money out of people's pockets while giving them the least amount of value, which is pretty antithetical to the Disney I grew up with in San Diego, because it's like you would pay a lot of money to go to Disney, but you would be like treated in a very special way, and you would be like guaranteed like very like A plus treatment. So it's pretty crazy just to see the route Disney's going down, and like I don't really know. I don't know. It's pretty bonkers. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I have to say about either of these topics. I will say something I'm trying to do recently, more on a more personal level, is like I was in Starbucks the other day and this woman wasn't wearing shoes, which is fine. Like if we don't wear shoes, that's fine. Maybe. But like I was kind of like judging her for it. I was kind of like looking at her and I was thinking to myself like, oh, it's so gross. Like why isn't she wearing shoes in the Starbucks? And then she turned to me and she was like, oh, I really like your outfit and I like your hair. She's like, I like your vibe. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to hell. Oh my God. Cause I'm like standing there judging her and she turns out and gives me like such a nice compliment. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I think I need to be less judgmental. But then I was like, well, what does that look like? Because law of attraction, everyone, we need to phrase things for ourselves in an attractive way. We need to attract what we want, not just like say what we don't want. So if I want to say, I want to be less judgmental, A, practically, how do you implement that? But B, it's also like, that's not really like attracting what you do want. And so I want to be, the word I came up with was open-minded. I want to be more open-minded. And I think I've like really developed an ability to, I've always had very strong opinions. And recently I visited my family and I got to see my mom. And I sit next to my mom. And my mom just like starts popping off with all these like really hot opinions. And it was like so exciting. I was like, oh my God, I love that I'm sitting next to you right now. It feels so good to like meet someone who has as strong opinions as I do. And I definitely get it from her. But that being said, I do think that especially with like, not working, but working online and like making YouTube content, making podcasts, I've really started to like be quick with my critiques and quick with my opinions. And I think having strong opinions is something I'm really proud of. I love that I can like literally look at that pot on that person's doorstep and be like, I have a lot of opinions about that. And I can say what I love about it, what I don't love about it. I don't know, long story short, I do think my open-mindedness could translate into my opinions in terms of like balancing out my words. So if I sit here and say the Galactic Starcruiser looked like a waste of money to me and like it's not surprising that it closed, I can say that and also balance it out with, honestly, I could see how people like would be really sad if they were saving up to do that one day. Or I could see like it's like people really loving it. Like I can see that there's probably a lot there to love and there's a lot like to have a lot of fun with. And for some people it's like just like the perfect iteration of Star Wars. And I love that for them, like genuinely. Like I'm not being cheeky about it. I really do love it for them. But anyways, so that's a new thing I'm working on. We're trying to be more open-minded. We're trying to balance our opinions, at least vocally. Like I can still have my strong opinion and also acknowledge that other opinions exist. And like, it's something I'm trying to do in my personal life because it also helps me like touch grass and also helps me realize that like I'm not right about everything and that like hundreds, millions of other realities exist that people live in. So that's that on that. I hope this was at all interesting. I'm currently working on my... definitely not currently, my little vlogumentary thing about Star Wars Celebration panel, but like, girly, I'm unmotivated about it because like, who cares? Do you know what I mean? Like, respectfully, like, who cares? People might like to watch it and that's cool and that's nice and that's supportive. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but like I don't want to like indulge myself anymore in like content. I just want to make shit and put it out. You know what I mean? And just like talk and like kind of use like YouTube as my social media. You know, I've been debating taking off Twitter and because I logged on for the first time after a long time. And I'm like, people are really out here just saying the same shit every day. Same shit every day. And I get stuck in it. And I think it's hindering my creativity. So I kind of just want to use YouTube as my little social media. vibes. What do you think? Let me know. I love you all. Thank you all so much for watching, and may the force be with you always.